Hi everyone, and welcome to another pen video. Today I am having a very quick look, sort of first impressions look at the Faber-Castell Essentio, which is this is the aluminium blue fountain pen. This is relatively, well, they're calling it sort of a remake of an old model. It's sort of a redesign of the basic Faber-Castell Basic, which is I think is actually a lovely pen, not without its faults, but quite a nice pen nonetheless. I have here the carbon black version, and it's it's a nice enough sort of fountain pen, as I said, not without its faults. But let's look at the Essentio here today, just for comparison's sake. Here it is alongside Diamine Safari, so you see just basic sort of size what we have going on here. But where this pen becomes well, I wouldn't say problematic, but its own into its own is in the length. So firstly, we get the unposted length there is not dissimilar to the Safari, but now let's just post these two pens. The Safari being a pen that you can write with posted sort of quite comfortably and quite happily, not too long, but not too long. But if we compare that here to the Faber-Castell, the Faber-Castell really is quite a monster when it's posted. It's just far too long. It's part of the problem with this model in general. I love Faber-Castell pens. The looms are some of my favourite pens on the market. In fact, we can look at it alongside the loom here. This is the gunmetal version, I think, from last year. If we once again look at the uncapped length, it's considerably longer there, uncapped. And then if we look at it, the loom cap posts quite nicely and becomes a really nice length pen. I actually find this design to be one of the most comfortable pens I have in my collection. And it posted, just look at that, like it's a good almost 1.5 inches longer than the loom when posted. So this is not a pen you would use posted. It is certainly a pen that you would write with unposted, and it is, as you can see, a very comfortable length. The grip section is long and sort of slightly rubbery, though not as rubbery as the previous basic model. In fact, this might actually just be aluminium. But the texture sort of gives some nice grip, and those grooves, while catching ink when you fill from a bottle, do provide a nice sort of texture if you are comfortable with that. This pen doesn't come with a converter, so it's something you have to buy separately. It does come with a cartridge. In fact, we can have a quick look here at the packaging. So this is the packaging that it comes with. It's a sort of the typical Faber-Castell box with the little drawer. You take the sleeve off, and then you're left with the nice little silver embossed logo. The drawer and the pen comes in this plastic sleeve as usual with a little tag on it. The instruction manual, and it sits here in that groove. And as I said, it comes with one single cartridge and a placeholder cartridge as well. So you could fit two in the barrel, one in and one spare. The cap is this same sort of plastic as the cap for the loom, but it feels sort of lightweight in comparison. If I just get the basic back here, the basic has sort of this rubberized plastic cap, whereas the cap on the Essentio has it is the same sort of plastic cap. The spring's okay, no issue there, but I do like the quality of the feeling of the basic a little more than the Essentio, and it's actually an issue I've had with the looms recently as well, is that the gunmetal one particularly just felt a lot lower quality than the previous models of the loom. So I have this in the broad. It's a broad steel nib, and the nibs that Faber-Castell make, they're steel nibs, and when you look at the pens like the Emotion, even the Writing, and the new or relatively new Grip, and of course the Loom, these nibs are really wonderful. So there's really, if you're tossing up between getting a pen at this price point with a steel nib or a more expensive pen with a gold nib, try these out because the writing experience really is very good on the Faber-Castell pens, whether this model is for you or one of the other models that they produce. But as I said, this doesn't come with a converter, so you have to buy the converter separately, and that's fine. If you factor that into the price, you know that that's going to be the case. Whether they should include one at this price is up for debate, or whether they should include one and increase the price. Well, once again, that's up to you to decide what you would prefer, but buying the converter for an extra few dollars doesn't really make too much of a difference. I got this from Goulet Pens. It was just not long after it was released, and I'm really happy. I love shopping with Goulet. They have fabulous service, and the prices are generally pretty good, and actually it's often cheaper to buy from Goulet than it is to buy from Australian retailers, unfortunately. As is the modern world. Let's do some writing. So this is, as I said, the Faber-Castell Essentio broad steel nib. The ink I have in this is Diamine Oxford Blue, which is a really great match, I think, for this pen, those sort of nice dark tones. Now, you can hear it isn't the smoothest broad nib on the market. There is a little bit of feedback there, but it's not it doesn't take away from the writing experience. It's still smooth on the page. It's got that nice little bit of feedback. So yeah, interesting. It's pretty wet. Not the wettest Faber-Castell broad that I've ever used, but certainly wet enough. In fact, my Faber-Castell Loom in the medium nib, the original blue model of that, is broader than this and much wetter than this. I wouldn't push these Faber-Castell nibs too hard for sort of line variation. They are quite stiff, and reverse writing is absolutely possible, but it does sort of get a bit dry and a bit scratchy. But you know, the pen isn't designed for that. So in a pen in this price range, you know, in sort of the $50 to $60 mark American, this is a pretty good option. Is it a huge difference from the basic? No, it's just a different material, slightly cheaper material, and I think the pen is slightly cheaper to buy, but it's an okay pen. I like the Faber-Castell pens. They're one of my favorite brands. I think that they produce excellent pens in this price range. In fact, I prefer their more budget-friendly pens up to about the Emotion, particularly all the steel nib pens, to their to the Graf von Faber-Castell sort of more luxury pens. But that's just my taste. Anyway, quick look at the Faber-Castell Essentio. Hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications button if you want to stay up to date with the videos that I produce. Please feel free to drop me a message or you know, contact me through any of the social media platforms listed below or on any of my videos here. Also, check out my Instagram. I am at @the_offstage_me. Yeah, check it out, like and follow and all that sort of stuff over there as well. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you later.